What if I told you that every time you board a commercial flight, there's a 3 in 4 chance you're flying on a plane made by just 2 companies? Welcome to the world Documentaries, where today we're exploring one of the most fascinating rivalries in modern industrial history. For decades, Airbus and Boeing have dominated the skies, controlling 76% of the world's commercial aircraft fleet. But something remarkable has happened in recent years that's reshaping this aerospace duopoly. The European manufacturer Airbus has overtaken its American rival Boeing to become the world's leading planemaker, a position once thought untouchable. With a staggering backlog of 8,726 aircraft orders compared to Boeing's 5,643, Airbus now commands nearly 2/3 of the global market share. This represents billions of dollars in future revenue and a waiting list that would take almost 13 years to fulfill, even at maximum production capacity. The European challenge, birth of a competitor. Airbus didn't appear overnight as a fully formed aerospace giant ready to challenge American dominance. The company emerged in the late 1960s through the merger of several European national aerospace manufacturers, pooling resources from Britain, France, Germany, and Spain. These companies had been building aircraft since the World Wars but lacked the scale to compete individually against American manufacturers like Boeing, McDonnell Douglas, and Lockheed. Their strategy was simple yet ambitious: unite European expertise to create a viable alternative. Back in 1978, spotting an Airbus aircraft at an American airport would have been extraordinarily rare, almost a novelty. The company entered a market that Boeing had dominated for decades, 56 years after its rival's establishment. Fast forward to today, and Airbus controls over 50% of the United States market, a stunning reversal that seemed impossible just a generation ago. This transformation didn't happen by accident, but through strategic innovation, smart product development, and capitalizing on opportunities when they arose. Revolutionary design, the twin-engine breakthrough. Airbus made its first major statement in 1972 with the introduction of the A300, the world's first twin-engine wide-body jetliner. At a time when all wide-body aircraft required 3 or 4 engines for long-distance flights, this innovative design challenged conventional aviation wisdom. Airlines immediately recognized the economic advantages. 2 engines meant significantly lower maintenance costs, reduced fuel consumption, and simplified operations compared to trijets or quadjet. However, the aviation industry remained skeptical about this intermediate-sized aircraft. Production rates for the A300 crawled along at just 1 or 2 planes per month for several years as the market struggled to identify where this new aircraft fit. The massive Boeing 747 could carry over 500 passengers, while the A300 accommodated only around 250. But patient persistence paid off as airline deregulation in 1978 created new opportunities, spawning additional carriers, and expanding existing ones, which gradually began recognizing the A300's efficiency advantages for medium-haul routes. The game-changer, A320 family dominance. The real turning point came in 1984 when Airbus launched the A320 single-aisle program, specifically designed to compete directly against Boeing's legendary 737 workhorse. This wasn't just another aircraft, it represented a technological leap forward that would reshape commercial aviation. The A320 introduced revolutionary fly-by-wire controls, where electronic signals replaced traditional mechanical cables, and featured a distinctive side-stick controller instead of the conventional yoke. These innovations, borrowed from military aviation, initially sparked controversy and skepticism throughout the industry. Early accidents, including a fatal crash during the aircraft's demonstration flight in 1988, severely damaged public confidence and stalled initial acceptance. But the A320's fundamental design advantages eventually proved undeniable. A slightly wider fuselage allowing more comfortable seating configurations, more advanced flight controls representing a generational leap, and superior overall efficiency. By the 1990s, the A320 had cracked open the American market, winning orders from major U.S. carriers and establishing Airbus as a legitimate competitor. Today, the A320 family has received over 19,000 orders, far exceeding the original business case projection of just 600 aircraft. Strategic missteps and market shifts. Despite Boeing's dominant position, holding roughly 50% market share throughout the 1980s and 1990s, they prioritized profitability over volume. While Airbus fought for market share with razor-thin margins of 4% or less, Boeing maintained healthy 9% profit margins. This strategy worked effectively until a series of self-inflicted wounds began undermining their position. One of Airbus's most significant mistakes came with the A380 Superjumbo, an engineering marvel that entered service in 2007 but targeted a market segment already in decline. The double-decker quad-engine, a 380, represented massive investment in 4-engine technology, just as the industry shifted decisively toward more efficient twin-engine wide-bodies. While the A380 demonstrated impressive engineering capabilities, Its market timing couldn't have been worse, ultimately costing Airbus nearly a decade of momentum. Meanwhile, airlines increasingly preferred smaller, more fuel-efficient twin-engine aircraft like the A330 and A350 that could carry 250 to 450 passengers on ultra-long range routes. Production ended in 2021, marking the super jumbo era's definitive conclusion, the crisis years Boeing's perfect storm. The year 2010 marked a pivotal moment when Airbus announced the A320neo new engine option, promising 15% better fuel efficiency than previous generations. American Airlines, historically an exclusive Boeing customer, shocked the industry in 2011 by ordering hundreds of these new Airbus aircraft. Boeing's response, the re-engined 737 MAX, debuted in 2017 but soon became the center of tragedy. Two catastrophic crashes in 2018 and 2019 killed 346 people, revealing that a malfunctioning flight control system called MCAs was responsible. The aircraft was grounded for nearly 2 years, devastating Boeing's finances and reputation simultaneously. Then the pandemic struck, bringing air travel to a virtual standstill and resulting in a record $12 billion loss in 2020. While Airbus also suffered losses exceeding $1 billion in both 2019 and 2020, they returned to profitability by 2021 and haven't looked back. In 2024, a door plug flew off a 737 MAX-9 mid-flight, triggering another round of production delays and an $11.8 billion annual loss, cementing Airbus's position as the world's largest planemaker. The hinge factor, A321neo dominance today. One aircraft model has become the decisive factor in this rivalry, the Airbus A321neo. This stretched variant of the A320 family represents 72% of Airbus's single-aisle order backlog, effectively giving the company a commanding 60–65% market share. Airlines love the A321neo because it opens previously impossible routes, flying efficiently from New York to Los Angeles or the East Coast to Europe with just a single aisle. The economics simply outperform traditional widebodies on these routes. Boeing doesn't have a comparable competitor in their current lineup. The 737 MAX-9 seats fewer passengers, while the MAX 10 lacks sufficient range despite larger capacity. The A321neo carries 244 passengers across 4,700 nautical miles, compared to the MAX 10's 230 passengers over just 3,100 nautical miles, and that aircraft remains uncertified years behind schedule. When Boeing's former CEO Dave Calhoun announced in 2022 that no new airplane would launch until the next decade, airlines rushed to order A321neo's 1,300 sales followed in just 12 months. Essentially making Calhoun, ironically, one of Airbus's most effective salespeople. Looking ahead, the future of aviation. In 2024, Airbus delivered 766 aircraft compared to Boeing's mere 348, with most revenue realized upon delivery rather than order. Boeing's 737 MAX production remains capped at 38 planes monthly by federal regulators, down from 52 before the pandemic and crashes. Both manufacturers face significant challenges moving forward, including persistent supply chain disruptions, engine recalls affecting numerous Airbus jets, and looming concerns about tariffs potentially disrupting the thoroughly globalized aerospace industry. The United States currently exports 6 times more aerospace products than it imports. The industry desperately awaits next-generation aircraft featuring new propulsion techniques, advanced wing designs, innovative materials, and digital integration. Airbus envisions launching such an aircraft in the second half of the next decade, though they haven't committed to a timeline. Emerging competitors like China's Comac and Brazil's Embraer could potentially disrupt the duopoly if they successfully penetrate Western markets. For now, however, Airbus enjoys a commanding 2/3 market share, a position strengthened by superior product positioning, Boeing's ongoing struggles, and strategic manufacturing facilities across 3 continents, ensuring global market access. Thank you for watching this episode of the World Documentaries exploring the fascinating battle between Airbus and Boeing for aviation supremacy. If you found this deep dive into aerospace rivalry compelling, please subscribe to our channel, hit that like button, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you flown on both Airbus and Boeing aircraft? Did you notice differences in comfort, technology, or overall experience? We'd love to hear your perspective as a passenger in this ongoing competition. The aviation industry continues evolving rapidly, with new technologies, environmental pressures, and economic challenges reshaping how aircraft are designed and manufactured. Will Boeing mount a comeback under new leadership, or will Airbus extend its dominance even further? Could a new competitor emerge to challenge both giants? Stay tuned to the World Documentaries for more fascinating stories exploring the industries, innovations, and rivalries that shape our modern world. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss our next documentary. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep learning with us.